it and for anything more that can be done.
Karen Lumley.
It's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and I'm delighted to get the opportunity to speak in this debate, the subject of which I know will make a considerable difference to the futures of young people in my constituency. I want to start by paying tribute to the Honourable Member for Worcester putting this debate forward, but particularly for his tireless work, not only in our county but nationally on this subject. His constituents, like mine, have suffered from unfair funding in education for far too long. It's been a priority for many of us since we were elected to see the mess of education funding sorted out. I'm pleased that we're now starting to see real progress on this matter following the previous government's failure to act. My own passion for this subject actually predates my time as an MP and goes back to my experience of education funding when my children were at school many years ago, I have to say. When my family moved to Worcestershire in 2000, I was shocked to find that my children's education in Redditch did not seem to carry with it the same monetary value as it did in our former home of Wrexham. My awareness of it grew further when I became a governor at Vayner First School and saw the situation was far worse than I'd anticipated. As already been said, Worcestershire is one of the lowest funded education authorities in England, in the bottom 10. Despite my own constituency being 5 miles outside the Birmingham funding area, there's a difference of around £700 in what between pupils get in education in both areas. And I would hope the Minister will be able to address this point and explain to the parents in Redditch why their children are worth less than the ones 5 miles up the road. In 2009, Redditch was red flagged for unsatisfactory educational attainment by the Audit Commission, as the borough was falling way behind the rest of the county. However, in the years that have followed, thanks to both the hard work of teachers and reforms made by this government, schools in Redditch have gone from strength to strength. Redditch now boasts some of the best performing schools in our county, a remarkable turnaround for the borough's schools with almost 70% of students achieving the A to C grade, compared to only 37% in 2007. Just imagine, Mr Hollowbone, what would happen if we got fairer funding in Redditch. This will be the first time in a decade that funding has been allocated to Redditch and other areas on basis of actual characteristics of pupils and schools, rather than just on the basis of historic levels of spending. Under the minimum funding levels proposed, young people in Redditch stand to get 1.7% or £4.9 million rise in funding per pupil, rising from £4,231 to £4,302. Having studied the figures, though, across the different local authorities, I'm concerned that Worcestershire is still not getting as good a deal as others, particularly given that some better funding authorities stand to gain more from these proposals. There is real concern that without more funding, they will still continue to meet their responsibilities. I look to the Minister for comment and hope that after the consultation period, we will see some of these figures adjusted accordingly. The commitment we've made is an important step forward, though, and it's worth remembering just how far we've come in such a short time. This campaign has been about securing a fair deal for our constituencies and righting an obvious wrong. Of course, money is not all that's required to give our young people a good start in life, but it certainly goes a long way to doing that. Our government must continue to work to show children and their parents that no matter where they come from or what their background is, we are committed to improving the education they receive.
Cheryl Murray.